And welcome to part 88 of my report on the McCarrick Report by Patrick Parson. We continue chapter 24, McCarrick's activity and Holy See decision-making during the first 18 months of Archbishop Viganò's tenure as Apostolic Nuncio, fall 2011 to spring 2013. And we are in section A, McCarrick's continued activity during Archbishop Viganò's tenure as Apostolic Nuncio, fall 2011 to fall 2012. McCarrick continually updates Nuncio Viganò of his activities, although in at least one point he updates Monsignor Lathome with information about the church in China because he does not, quote, want to overwhelm His Excellency the Apostolic Nuncio with all of these extraneous things, unquote. But McCarrick did keep Viganò apprised on different occasions, such as April 21st, 2012, when he wrote to Viganò about future travels, including the Eucharistic Congress, a bishops' meeting, the Muslim-Christian Summit in Lebanon for Catholic relief services in Jordan and in Egypt, and to Asia to meet major contacts for Catholic relief services. A footnote on page 376 states Viganò's decision not to take action during the first half of 2012 in response to McCarrick's detailed travel reports is inconsistent with Viganò's later claim of having told McCarrick he was subject to canonical sanctions issued by Pope Benedict XVI that prohibited McCarrick from travel and to dedicate himself to a life of prayer and penance. On June 29, 2012, a Maryland parishioner sent a letter to a diocesan official, who is not specified in the report other than being part of the Archdiocese of Washington, of concerns about McCarrick, saying McCarrick had been retired for advocating homosexual unions on the radio in 2005 and was free to roam the world seeking the destruction of souls. A copy was sent to Viganò, but nothing in the nunciature file suggests Viganò had followed up on the letter by contacting anyone. And on July 25, 2012, McCarrick wrote a letter to Viganò thanking him for inviting McCarrick and McCarrick's priest secretary to a dinner at the nunciature. This concludes section A of chapter 24, which is obviously making it look as though Viganò was speaking falsely when he later blew the whistle on McCarrick. Now on page 278 we begin section B, information received by Nuncio Viganò from Priest 3 and Cardinal Ullay's instructions to Viganò, August to November 2012. In August 2011, Priest 3 filed a civil complaint against the Diocese of Metuchen, the Archdiocese of Newark, and Bishop Butkolski. The complaint did not name McCarrick as a defendant, but it described in explicit detail the 3 sexual incidents involving Priest 3 and McCarrick, which we saw in part 29 of my reports, which discusses chapter 9 of the McCarrick report, when McCarrick took advantage of Priest 3 in both the beach house and the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in New York. On August 6, 2012, Priest 3 wrote a letter to Viganò saying he had been sexually assaulted by McCarrick, which was the cause of his problems with the Diocese of Metuchen, being falsely accused of financial mismanagement and being transferred from the Portuguese and Brazilian communities. Viganò, in turn, contacted Prefect Ole, telling the prefect this was the first time McCarrick had been accused of a crime, and that Nuncio Sambi had personally delivered a letter to McCarrick from Cardinal Ray, inviting McCarrick to change residence and not to appear in public. Viganò also pointed out that McCarrick did not obey the advice to conduct a quiet life of prayer and penance for past imprudent actions, and that McCarrick was continually traveling abroad without mandate from the U.S. Conference of Bishops or the Holy See. He added, quote, "Accordingly, one can affirm that Cardinal Ray's admonition to him is a dead letter," unquote, which appears to be an accurate assessment to me. Maybe Viganò isn't quite the brigand the report seems to be trying to make him out to be. So McCarrick seems to pay no attention to the limits that have been placed on him. But he is not the only person who fails in that fashion. All too often, we fail in what God expects of us. Let us ask His forgiveness for our weaknesses and for everyone else with the Fatima prayer. O my Jesus, forgive us our sins, save us from the fires of hell, and lead all souls to heaven, especially those in most need of thy mercy.